So now we are using the Romexis 3D module, and we are actually inside the Explorer sub-module, because we need to do some pre-planning steps before going to the CMF Surgery module. And what are the pre-planning steps? The first one is to map the intraoral scans with the CBCT data and also segment the upper and lower jaws. And I have already mapped the lower scan with the CBCT data, but I need to do the same thing to upper scan as well. So I need to click this button called Fit 3D Model Scan in STL format onto image. And let's click this button next. So if you have already imported the scans or the scan to your Romexis, then you can just click the Select button and then select the scan by clicking it and then click the OK button. But if you haven't imported the scan to your Romexis yet, then you need to click the Browse button and then select the file to your computer, click it, and then click the Open button. And now we are ready to map these two files together. So we need to choose 3 corresponding points by left-clicking from the STL file and also the 3D rendering volume. So by left-clicking, we can add these dots here, and we need to select 3 of them. And when we are ready and the result is good, we are going to have this green color here. And then we can click the Done button. And if the result looks good, then we can click this button called Use Automatic Match Result. But if the result doesn't look good enough, we can also click Retrieve button and do the matching again. But now the matching result looks very good, so we'll click this Use Automatic Match button. And now we can verify the result by using the 2D slice views. And now in the object browser, we need to make sure that we have mapped the upper and lower scans with the CBCT data and they both are visible. And if we want to also add nerves to our treatment plan, these need to be included before we click the jaw segmentation button. And now we can see we have already added the nerves here. So now we can click the jaw segmentation button. And now Romexis will ask you, do you want to use the surgery module after segmentation? And we want, so we will click the Yes button. And now we need to add the missing anatomical landmarks using the left mouse button. And we can add these landmarks to the 2D slice views or to the 3D rendering view. And we can add this by left-clicking. And in the right side, we can also see the preview images of these landmarks and also the list of them. And when we are ready, we can click the Next button. And in this step, we need to paint the left and right mandible condyle red and also paint the lower teeth if they connect with the opposite teeth. So I have speed up this process because this will take a little time. So we can add red color here by red clicking and dragging, and also remove color by right clicking and dragging. And when ready, we can click the Next button. And now we need to select the starting point for region growing from the lower jaw. So I have selected this or left click this lower jaw bone here to select the seed point. And after that, we can click the next button. And now we need to adjust the slider to select the threshold values for the jaw. So when I'm adjusting the slider, then after that, I can see the preview image of the result. So by moving the slider, you can select the threshold value, which you prefer. And when ready, let's click the next button. And in this step, we can clean the upper and lower segments. So we can clean them by left clicking and dragging our left mouse button. And we can, for example, remove the spine or some artifacts here. And we can do the same thing to mandible as well. And if we have done some mistakes here, we can also click the undo, redo, or revert buttons. And let's click finish when done. And this is the CMF Surgery module. And let me explain a little bit about the user interface here. So in the middle, you can see the 3D rendering view as a surface view. And in the left side of the screen, you can see the 2D slice views. And in the right side toolbar, you can, for example, adjust the 3D rendering view by using the sliders. And then above it, we can also select how many 2D slice views we want to see on our screen. So by clicking these icons, we can select which 2D slice views we want to see. So we can select one of them, some of them, or none of them. And then we can also visualize our dental models by clicking this Show Dental Model button. And we can also rotate them and choose, do we want to see the close bite view or the open bite view. And when I click the dental model button again, I can once again see the 3D rendering view. And then we have this tool called Show Ball Surface in Slice Views if we want to see the surface view in 2D slice views. And I only recommend using this tool temporarily because it may your Romexis may run a little bit slower after that. But now we are ready to start our workflow. So let's click the Add Landmarks button next. And we can add landmarks to the 2D slice views or to the rendering view. And we can see the preview images of the landmarks in the right side of the screen, and also the list of the landmarks that need to be placed. So by left clicking, we can add the landmarks. And if we want to select the next undefined landmark on our list, just press down the Enter key on your keyboard. So left clicking, adding the landmarks, and pressing the Enter key, selecting the next undefined landmark. And this was the last one, so I will click the landmark button again. And next we are ready to adjust the head orientation. So we can adjust the head orientation by left clicking and dragging the red arrows or the half circles. And we can also use these different direction buttons if we want to visualize the skull in different directions. And we can also use this tool called Reset to Landmark-Based Orientation if we want to reset the view as a landmark-based orientation. Or we can also use the tool under it, which is the Reset to Imaging Orientation. And by default, Romexis is using the imaging orientation. And when we are done, we can click the Done button. And now we are ready to create some osteotomies. So we'll click this Create Osteotomy button. And for maxilla, we have available leopard 1 piece, 2 piece, and 3 piece. And today I will use the 1 piece and click the Next button. And now the osteotomy template has appeared here. And we can adjust template by going near the red dot. And when it comes green, we can left click and drag the dot. And you can see how the cutting lines in the 2D slice views are changing when I'm adjusting the osteotomy template when using the 3D rendering view. And we can also verify the cutting lines by using the 2D slice views. And when ready, let's click the Cut button. And once again, we can verify the result by using the 2D slice views. And for mandible, we have different options available as well. We have BSSO Hanasank, BSSO Oppegese, Inverted L, and Vertical Ramus. And genioplasty is also available. And let's select the BSSO Hanasank today, and I will click the Next button. And now we need to add these points by using the help of the preview images in the right side toolbar. So by adding these points, the Romexis knows how to create the osteotomy template here. And once again, how to adjust the template here. So if we go near to the red dot, and when it comes green, we can left click and drag it then. And we can also use the 2D slice views to verify the result. And if you have added nerves to your treatment plan, you can also see them while adjusting the osteotomy template. And when ready, let's click the Cut button again. And we can once again verify the result by using the 2D slice views. And we are done, so I will click again the Create Osteotomy button. And now we are ready to add the target occlusion here. This is, of course, optional option, not necessary. And we have two options available. The first one is to manually add the target occlusion, and the second one is virtually adding the target occlusion. And if you want to select the second option, please read our Romexis user's manual first, because there are some terms before using that option. But today, let's select the manual one, and then I will click the OK button. And now we need to import the target occlusion here. So I will select target occlusion STL file here and then click the open button. And next we need to define the orientation for the target occlusion. And when ready, we can click the OK button. And now we are ready to fit these two models together. So we need to paint the corresponding areas in upper arches of preoperative and target occlusion models. So basically, we just need to paint the same areas in both models. And then after that, we can click the Fit Models button. And then we can verify the result. And click Next to continue. And now we need to do the same thing with lower model as well. And after that, let's click the Fit Models button and verify the result. And when done, we can click the OK button. We can also use the 2D slice views to verify the correct placement of the target occlusion. And now we have two saved positions available. We have initial position and target occlusion position. And next, we are ready to plan some movements. So I will click this button called Plan Movements. So by using the sliders in the right side of the screen, we can adjust the segments or move them. And we can also enable this automatic surgery measurement table and see the movements while doing the adjustments. And we can also adjust or rotate the left ramus and also the right ramus by using the sliders. And the last option is to move the selected segments. So first, if we want to use this option, we need to select the rotation center, for example, the ANS or something else. And then after that, we need to select also the segment that we want to move in segment 3. And after that, we can use the sliders in the right side tool. And we are ready, so let's click the Save Position button. And now we need to choose, do we want to do the maxilla first or mandible first? Because depending on which one we are selecting, we can also create the intermediate position. And now I'm selecting the maxilla first and name it final, and then I will click the OK button. And once again, let's visualize our different positions. So we have initial position here, target occlusion position, intermediate position for creating the intermediate split, and also the final position. And the last thing is to create the splint here. So we can create the intermediate splints or final splints. And today I will create the final splint. So I will click the final position, and then I will click the splint design. button. And then we need to set upper and lower limits of the split. So by left clicking, we can add the points on the list. And in the right side of the screen, we can see also preview images of those points. And when done, let's click the next button. And now we are ready to adjust the splint thickness and also the upper and lower perimeters. And we can adjust the splint design by left clicking and dragging the white dots. And you can see how the splint design in the middle is changing when I'm doing the adjustments. So in the middle, we can see the preview of the splint design. And we can also add holes here by clicking this button. And we can use these holes, for example, to attach the splint and the brackets together. For example, using the wire. And then let's click the Generate Splint button to create the splint. And in the middle, we can once again visualize the preview of the splint design. And then after that, we can click OK button to save our split. And once again, we can use the 2D slice views to verify the correct position of the splint design. And we can also export the splint to be 3D printed and 3D printed in-house. And how to export the splint design? Let's click the Export Object button. And then I will select the surgical splint. We can also select the folder where we want to export it and also name the file. And then we can click the OK button. Okay, that was the whole workflow.